After Jungkook had fired you from the office before your kidnapping months ago, your life had taken a completely different turn. When you recovered fully instead of falling apart, you forced yourself to stand tall for your brother. Though the road wasn't easy, you picked up a job at a cafe as a waitress trying your hair back every morning and putting on an apron with a sense of quiet determination. The cafe became your training ground, balancing trays, rushing between tables, forcing a polite smile even when exhaustion clung to your bones. The work was tiring, but you bore it with silent strength. You reminded yourself that dignity wasn't tied to a title or a desk in some glass-walled office. It was in how you carried yourself despite everything. Yet at night, when the cafe lights dimmed and the doors shut, you would head straight to your small rented three-room apartment where your second life waited, a budding event organizing business. What had begun as a desperate idea turned into a spark of hope. With only a handful of employees, mismatched furniture and second-hand laptops, you poured your entire being into it, building it from the ground up. Balancing the cafe and the business was a battle of willpower. From dawn till evening, you served coffee and pastries to strangers, and once the apron was off, you stepped into the shoes of which was a business moment discussing things, handling clients, and brainstorming ideas with your team. Your apartment was cramped but alive. It smelled of paper, ink, and the faint aroma of candles you often used as samples for events. The walls were cluttered with colored boards, photographs, and sketches of event setups. Though your body was tired, your soul was awake, pushing you forward every night as you refused to let yourself crumble. You had nothing extravagant, but you had purpose. Each day passed in the rhythm of balancing these two lives, a rhythm you held onto like a lifeline, and throughout it all Jungkook was there, no matter how many times. How many times you turned away from him, ignored his presence, or lashed out with cold, cutting words, he stayed close. Sometimes in the cafe, he would often sit quietly at a corner table or with his two team members, Jisoo and Taehyung, watching you working while passing playful comments, watching you rush about with silent admiration. At your office building, he was sometimes linger outside, making sure you got home safe after late night meetings. You never asked him to stay, and you made it clear with your harshness that you didn't want him near. But still he remained. It became his habit, even when your words turned like sharp knives. He shrugged them off with a playful smirk, as if pain was something he had already made peace with. He was stubborn, determined, almost infatuating in his persistence, yet there was an odd comfort in his shadow always being near. You never admitted it, but somewhere deep down you knew his presence was proof that despite everything broken between you, he wasn't ready to let go. It was another exhausting evening when you pushed open the glass door to your small rented apartment office. The clock clicked, and as the door creaked open, the familiar sight greeted you. A suffocating sea of flower bouquets stacked on every surface. The faint fragrance of lilies and tulips filled the air, mixing with the sharper scent of paper and ink from your files. Some of the bouquets, long wilted, had drawn petals dropping sadly to the floor, while others were freshly alive, standing tall in their bright colors as if competing to cover the traces of those that had died. Your eyes instantly caught the ridiculous details, cards tucked into every arrangement, each card scribbled with Jungkook's messy handwriting. Some were dramatic apologies. "I'm sorry for being the biggest fool alive." Others carried ridiculous hotel drawn picture of his pouty face, exaggerated with tears streaming down the cheeks. A few had surprisingly heartfelt love quotes, ones that made your chest tighten despite yourself. You let out a long sigh, dropping your bag onto the couch and rubbing your temples again. Every single day, you walk slowly deeper into the room, waving through the jungle of flowers. Your heels clicked against the floor, pushing aside a fallen petal here and there. Some wickets leaned dangerously against the wall, others spread across the floor as if they owned the place. Unbelievable. You muttered under your breath, reaching down to pluck one of the new cards stuck into a bouquet of orchids. In Jungkook's scrawled words, it said, "If apologies had petals, I would cover your whole world in them. Please just look at me once the way you used to." Your lips twitched, part of your wanting to scoff, another part dangerously close to breaking into a smile you refused to let out. With a sharp inhale, you tossed the card back down onto the flowers and flopped onto your chair. Just as you were about to rest your head on the desk, the door creaked open again. One of your employees, Mino, the youngest on your small team, walked in holding yet another bouquet. His grin was mischievous, his eyes twinkling as he looked at you slumped in your chair. "Boss, delivery for you," he said in a sing-song tone, placing the bouquet carefully on the floor among the mountains of others. This one was fresh, tulips in soft pink envelopes, wrapped neatly with a satin ribbon, a small card dangled from it, the corner already smudged with ink. "At this rate, we are going to have expand your business just to store his flowers." Nino teased, giggling as he dusted his hands dramatically. "You groan, covering your face with both hands. He's insane, actually insane. Do you realize how ridiculous this looks?" You muttered, peeking through your fingers at the boy. "Ridiculous? Luna, this is romantic," Nino countered, crouching down to adjust one of the bouquets. Every evening, without fail, another delivery, sometimes twice, sometimes 3 times. I have never seen a man so determined. He picked up one of the older cards, chuckling as he read aloud. "Even if you stab me with your words again, I'll still call back to you." "Wow, boss, this is like a drama script." Your jaw tightened and you stood abruptly, making Nino stumble back. "It's not romantic, it's exhausting. Do you know how many times I have told him to stop? How many times? How many times I have told him to leave me alone?" Your voice cracked at the end, more from frustration than sadness. You kicked lightly at the bouquet on the floor, its petals scattering. "And yet, every day, he still shows up like this." Nino tilted his head, clearly amused rather than intimidated by your anger. "Maybe because he knows you read a card," he said quietly, still teasing but shocked. "Even the ones you pretend to throw away, you think he don't notice you?" Sneaking a glance before you toss them on the pile, your cheeks warmed, but you shot him a glare that made him laugh nervously and throw up his hands. Okay, I'll shut up. But boss, between us, he doesn't look like he's stopping anytime soon. Today he was trying to steal. He handed me this bouquet personally and told me, please, make sure she gets it. Tell her it's from me again." Mimic mimicked Jungkook's pout so perfectly that you choked on your breath. You sat back in your chair, shoulders slumping, the weight of everything pressing down. The sight of the endless flowers was overwhelming, half maddening, half heartbreaking. The smell was suffocating, your sweet, a constant reminder that no matter how harsh you had been, no matter how many times you had cut him with your words when he didn't leave. Instead, he filled your world with lilies and tulips, with apologies and foolish little doodles of himself with cards that swung between laughable and gut-wrenchingly sincere. Your gaze fell on the newest bouquet Nemo had just placed. You reached for the card dangling from it, hesitating before finding his number. His handwriting again, bold and rushed. "I'll keep saving them until you smile for me once, even if it takes 1,000 repair. Because even if you hate me right now, my love for you hasn't wilted. Just like these tulips." You close your eyes, letting out another long, heavy sigh. Somewhere behind you, Minho wiggled softly, already backing out of the room with a wave. "See you, boss, don't roll in the flowers." He teased before the door clicked shut. Left alone, he stared at the room. The petals, the cards, the chaos of his persistence. You hated him, you are hurt because of him, and yet with every fresh bouquet, with every card scrawled with sincerity and foolishness, you felt your walls tremble just a little more each day.